to be emotionally invested. I am choosing to be emotionally invested. I don't even deal with some of these jokers if I don't feel like there's an emotional tie. I don't even deal. Like, oh, well, you know, sir, unfortunately, I'm not willing to emotionally invest. And I'm okay with that. You gotta be okay with that. And that came from me gaining so much knowledge of my past and the things that have affected my life and made me the way that I am. And what else comes with that? So here are some steps. I have a book. It's called I Hear That Girl, Life Advice for Every Sister. And it is literally those 10 steps that God gave me as I started peeling back my layers. But I'm gonna just give you some of the things that you can do to remove that mask. So of course I told you the very first thing is to stop and listen. We don't do that enough. We rush through our days. I know some of y'all rush through your prayers.
Girl, say that. Say that.
I do. I go to sleep and wake back up. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm back. You know my heart. You know my heart. I was sleeping, Jesus. But we do that, right? But you gotta stop and listen. And this is another thing about prayer. Stop praying and listen. I had to tell a friend the other day. She said, well, I got this job offer and I got to pray about it. I said, really? But you prayed about how you was going to make some money. Now you got a job offer. And you going to pray some more? Why is you praying? Stop praying and listen. Because if you had done that from the beginning, God would tell you exactly what to do. Yeah. There's no need to keep going back and praying. Stop praying so much and listen to what God has to say. So what I do in the morning, I do this at the start of my day, is I immediately, when I open my eyes, I give thanks. Immediately. And then 2, I recite the Lord's Prayer. 3, I get quiet. And I wait for the download. God will reveal everything you need to do, every step by step, what you need to do in that day. But you got to take the time to listen. So that's an important tool that God taught me. And that was the first one. I see why it was the first one too. So the second one was acceptance. The third one is forgiveness. Because once you start accepting stuff, you forgive people. Because for a long time I thought my husband was a monster. I'm like, why do you think I'm cheating and stuff? I didn't do all this. This man's crazy. But then when I started looking at my life, I said, you know what? He never forced me to say I do. I did that. So it's on me. And he's not as big of a monster as I thought he was. He just noticed a void. Right? And then the fourth one is accountability.
That's a big one.
It's not enough to know why you do stuff, but you got to accept it and be accountable for your actions. Too many women around here making excuses, saying, oh, well, he did this. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And this is what I know for sure, ladies. We know what a man wants or doesn't want when he opens his mouth and tells you. If he say, I do not want to be in a relationship, stop trying to be with him and think, after about a year, he gonna want to be with me. What did he say? He said he didn't want it. Now you mad at him, you calling me. What for? Alright, so those are the steps. I could go on that for a long time. I get tired of that when people call me. I had a friend call me and she was like, you know, we've been together 3 years. I said I wasn't going to do more than 2 years. If he couldn't ask me to marry him, he said he don't want to get married. I said, but didn't you tell me this, like when y'all first started dating, that he said he didn't want to get married? Why are you on the phone with me crying? Get off this phone, girl. She got off the phone. And she found someone who actually wanted to get married, and she got married. Would have made it easy on yourself. All right, so the final step is, of course, action. You have to take action in everything. You know, knowledge is great, but knowledge applied is wisdom. So when you get all this information about yourself, apply it. Okay? So that's my concept of life advice. I hope that you guys share it with other people in your life. As I said, I did write a book based on this concept of life advice that was divinely given to me. And if you'd like to purchase it, it's definitely over there. But I do have a word. Carolyn gave me a word to choose from, and I chose my word. My word that I chose was restoration.
There it is.
Because, you know what? Life happens.
Come on.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you do X, Y, and Z, it's going to be great. That's a lie. And matter of fact, X, Y might be good, but Z going to be a mother. Because that's life. If we get to the point where we understand that the scrapes will come, you'll be okay. You'll be better for it. I'm okay for the failures. Last night I hosted an event for women who are trying to start businesses and they just have questions, right? So I had these ladies at the table and they're like, well, you know, how do you do X, Y, Z to make this amount of money? I was like, you know what? Fail. And fail often. That's how you figure business out. That's how you figure life out. You got to keep doing stuff until you learn it. You learn it along the way. That's what life experience is about. What you learn along the way. I have learned so much on my journey. I've had 39 years. I'm thankful for each and every last one of those years because each one has taught me something. And I want you to take that with you as far as restoration is concerned. Life is going to do its thing. But the number one thing is don't react to life. Don't react to life. Take control of how you handle life. Because when it starts hitting you, if you're just going to cry every time it starts hitting you, you're going to be in a crying state of mind. But when it hits you, you know how to deal with that. You are in control of how life is hitting you. Thank you so much.